Good afternoon and good evening to everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for today's session of Euraccess Worldwide ASEAN. And we are focusing today on an incredibly prestigious fellowship, and I hope that you're all excited to hear more about it. My name is Susanna Ranzovaso. I am part of the Euraccess Worldwide team in Southeast Asia, and I'm joined by my colleague, Dr. Jenny L. Mako. You can see in the top left, I think. And we're very happy to present to you today everything you need to know on how to find a host institution and supervisor in Europe for your MSCA Postdoctoral Fellowship application. We are literally just a few days away from the opening of the call. We're expecting it any day now, and the deadline is likely to be in mid-October. So this is the perfect time for you to get started. Now, of course, the MSCA, the Marie Skłodowska-Curie Postdoc Fellowship, is an opportunity for researchers of any discipline and of any nationality to do funded research on the topic of your choice. And if you're joining us from outside of the European research area, this is an opportunity for you to go to Europe. And by this, I mean the 27 EU member states or any of the 16 countries that are currently associated with the European funding program that is called Horizon Europe. The first step, of course, in drafting your proposal is to have a brilliant idea. And I'm very certain that all of you already have a great idea of what you want to do in these 2 years. But the second step, and that is very important, is to identify an institution and a supervisor that wants to work with you. And that person and institution needs to be based in any of these countries that I just mentioned earlier. So what we were thinking is to make it easy for you. We introduce you to just some of the institutions and countries in Europe that are waiting to host researchers like yourself. So today, in the next hour or so, we're going to do like a very quick tour around the European research area. And we have invited speakers that will share with you what opportunities they have on offer for you and the type of support that you can expect, not only in drafting your proposal for an MSCA Postdoc Fellowship, but also the support that you can expect when you're actually there carrying out your fellowship. So our first speaker today comes from France, and France, right in the middle of Europe, of course, one of the heavyweights of research, science, and innovation in Europe and in the world. And our very first speaker is Dr. Eugenia Shatlova, and it's my pleasure to invite her to present to us today. Eugenia, please.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. My name is Eugenia Shatlova, and I'm working for Higher Education, Research and Innovation Ministry of France. And I'm a national contact point for Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions of France, and also a national delegate to the Program Committee for France. So today I have a hard and honorary mission to present my country. And first of all, I would like to thank Euraccess for this initiative and for giving me the opportunity to do this. And I would like to say that this initiative received a very enthusiastic welcome from the French scientific community. When I got the invitation, I contacted universities, research centers, and other actors of research and innovation of France. And we received in less than 2 weeks 17 presentations from universities, 4 from national research centers, 4 from Grande École, and 1 from a public agency with concrete expressions of interest to welcome you Asian researchers with Marie Skłodowska-Curie Postdoctoral Fellowship. So I will certainly not have time today to present all these expressions of interest in detail, but I will explain you how my presentation is organized and where to find information. And so, of course, you will get the slides later, and you will be able to search yourself to identify your host institution. So I will share my screen. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so France is, of course, an attractive and competitive country, known for its fine food, beautiful landscape, and rich cultural offer, but also, of course, for its excellent research and dynamic and competitive innovation ecosystem. Just a few words to introduce French research. So in France, there are 65 Nobel Prizes, and France holds the fourth world position with Nobel Prizes, among which 14 laureates in physics, 9 in chemistry, 13 in medical sciences, 4 in economics, etc. And France also holds the second place in the world in fields medals, with 11 fields medals. France has excellent research in all scientific areas, the 6th world place in scientific publication, among which half in open access and more than 60% in collaboration with foreign researchers. We have 6,018 and 600 research and development staff, among which 2/3 are researchers and 32% are women. In Horizon 2020, France signed 7,727 grant agreements with average success rate of 15 and 42%. France also is aiming to become a startup nation, supports disruptive innovation, is a second patent applicant in Europe, provides important support to innovation and entrepreneurship through dedicated national funding, public services, and facilities. And the funding to deep tech enterprises is growing. So you can see here an image with which indicates the amount of funding dedicated in last years to deep tech enterprises, and so you can see that it's been growing. So, and on this scheme, I tried to present in a very simple way the organization of research and innovation in France. It's a very simplified scheme. In reality, it is much more complex, but just to help you to better understand the rest of my presentation. So here you can see the academic sector and the non-academic sector, important terms when you apply to the Marie Skłodowska-Curie actions. So the academic sector is represented by national research centers with delegations on all national territory, universities, and Grande École. I kept this French term. When you translate Grande École in English, it means high school, but just to avoid the confusion, I kept the French term because Grande École in France, it's a higher education institution with a very prestigious education in some specific areas, such as, for example, engineering, sciences, or business. And on the other hand, you have a non-academic sector represented by large enterprises, SMEs, NGOs, hospitals, museums, public agencies, etc. So institutions which main mission is not to carry out research, but which are participating in research and interested in the research results. And in the research actually is being carried out in the laboratories, which are represented on this scheme by these small circles. And I put the abbreviation UMR, which means Mixed Research Unit. So these laboratories are, or also called research units, are not autonomous legal entities, while they can be quite huge with about 200 or 300 research staff by unit and their proper governance structure. They are under supervision of either research centers, universities, Grande École, or sometimes even institutions from non-academic sectors, such as large enterprises or hospitals or museums. But the research is being carried out in these units, and staff who work for these units are actually employed by either national research centers, either universities, either Grande École. And some research units are under supervision of several entities. That's why they're called mixed research units. So you may see the laboratory with different supervision entities and where staff come from these different entities. So this was my introduction, and now I will go to a more concrete part of my presentation, showing different expressions of interest we received from national research centers, universities, and Grande École. So I start with national research centers, and the biggest one, the multidisciplinary and probably the most known abroad and the first in getting European funding is CNRS. So here you can see some key numbers for CNRS, such as budget, people involved in research, number of research laboratories in France and abroad, and some key numbers concerning the CNRS participation in Horizon 2020. And then you have a list of laboratories with their research areas by keywords, and then the links to the website where you will find also information about supervisors with contacts. Then at the end, so you have this huge list. All these laboratories are actually those who expressed interest to welcome ASEAN researchers with this initiative. So this is not an exhaustive list of all CNRS labs, but only those who confirm their interest. And you have also a unique contact from the Direction of International Relations of CNRS. Then you have also some additional CNRS labs with keywords and supervisors contacts. So again, you have different labs. All the presentation is structured in the same way. You have the institution with key figures and key numbers, then the laboratories with their research areas described in keywords, and then you have interested supervisors with the links to their publications. So I strongly advise you to go to see the publications of the supervisor, because this is, on my opinion, a best way to find a suitable supervisor for you. And sometimes, actually, some institutions left contacts of each supervisor, and some left only the contact of International Affairs Office or European Affairs Office. Some left both. So if you have both contacts, I would advise you to write to both contacts. And please know that the European Affairs Offices can provide you support, sometimes going up to coaching sessions and some draft proposals with concrete tips on how to write it. So please not only contact your supervisor, but also contact the European Affairs Offices of these institutions. So this was, we have some other laboratories of CNRS. Again, with the same structure, keywords, list of supervisors with links to publications and contacts. So now I continue with INSERM. INSERM is the National Research Center specialized in health and medical sciences. And here again, you have some key figures and contacts of supervisors with links to their publications. So now it will be up to you to go to search to see the keywords, to check the publications of the supervisors. So another research center is CEA, which means in French, Commissariat à l'énergie atomique. So it's an atomic energy agency, but when you look through their research areas, you can see that they do not only nuclear research, but also research in very different areas such as climate and environmental sciences, astrophysics, theoretical physics, etc. And so here 2 institutes express their interest to welcome postdoctoral fellows. One is called Frédéric Joliot Institute, and you have a contact here, and then you have information about their research area, links to publications, and identified supervisors. And then you have also François Jacob Institute of Biology, and again the unique contact from the European Affairs Office, and then detailed information about their research areas, some key figures. And then more detailed information about their different research units. So I just can't, unfortunately, spend more time on each slide because we don't have much time. So IFREMER is another national research center specialized in a study of oceans and sea. And here, the same structure, you have some key figures, some keywords, and at the end, again, some concrete information on interested research units with interested supervisors and links to their publications, and a unique contact from the European Affairs Office. So now I continue with universities. We received 17 universities. 17 universities expressed their interest to this initiative and to welcome ASEAN researchers. So usually universities have the name of the town or city where they are located, so it gives you some idea of their geographical location. So Avignon University, with interested laboratories, supervisors, links to publications. Cergy University is located in Paris region. Again, some key figures. And they have actually on their website a search tool which helps you to find information about their research units. And some contacts. Jean Moulin Lyon 3 University. So I will try to go quickly through the universities just to show you the variety of different offers. And it still follows the same structure with links to publication, keywords, supervisors. Angers University. Lille University in the north of France. Universities are usually very multidisciplinary, so you should look through all of them to find your scientific area. Rennes 2 University. Lyon Catholic University. Université Côte d'Azur in Nice, in the south of France, with a very long list of interested units and supervisors. Université Le Havre Normandie in Normandy, with several research units interested. And Paris-Est Créteil. There are also some Grande École which express their interest. AgroParisTech, a school in agronomic sciences. So you can see here there are some key figures and research areas: agricultural production, food and non-food transformations, human health, sustainable management of natural resources, and the list of units interested with a contact. INALCO is a National Institute of Languages and Eastern Civilizations. Some key figures again and contacts. INSA is a National Institute and Applied Sciences. So there are several institutes with this name in France, and the one who expressed its interest was INSA from Normandy. It's an engineering school. And again, here you have a different detailed presentation of different research areas of INSA. And so this list was actually not exhaustive. I have some additional presentation, and I will further send you a file with all these presentations where you can search through. And there was also this public agency who expressed its interest, a non-academic actor. So again, some key figures, research teams, and contacts of potential supervisors. So that's all I wanted to tell you, and I can take some questions.
Thank you so much, Eugenia. And just to summarize for everyone, as you can see, there is a whole host of opportunities for you. And this was just one of the countries we're talking about today, France. We will share all the presentation slides with you after the session, so you don't need to worry if you haven't been able to capture everything. You will receive all the material afterwards, so that at your own leisure, you can look at it and look at the links and start making contact. We will also forward all your questions that you're posting in the Q&A box to our speakers today. So some of you are already posting questions. If we don't answer them today, don't worry, they will be forwarded to the speakers and they will reply to you directly. Now we're receiving a lot of questions, Eugenia, of course, about the different offers. Maybe one question that I think is interesting for everyone, and you as an NCP, I'm sure, can respond to that. There is, of course, the current pandemic. Are there any implications of the current situation for the application to this particular program in terms of the deadline for application, but also when you can start the fellowship if you are successful in your application?
Yes, so the deadline is fixed to 12th of October. So it's not, it was delayed, but it was not linked to the pandemics. So we all hope that it will be over and that we'll come back to the normal life. But in case pandemic continues, and there is a difficulty to move. Usually, until now, actually, European Commission authorized the laureates to postpone the starting date of their project to wait until the possibility to travel, and in some exceptional cases, but it had to be negotiated case by case with the project officers from the European Commission. It could be authorized to start the project on distance.
Thank you, Eugenia. And before we hand over, just a second question for you. If someone is interested in getting in touch with an international organization, they have in mind the International Agency for Research on Cancer, which is based in Lyon, and they're wondering whether this would also be a potential host.
Yes, it is actually. Actually, my presentation does not include all the expressions of interest I received, but in the files I will send you and that you will make available to the proposers, there is this institution. Indeed, there is information also about this institution, and they also expressed their interest.
Thank you so much, Eugenia. And again, we're receiving all your questions. Your questions will all be answered afterwards via email. And yes, you will receive all the slides in the next couple of days. We're now moving away from France and we're moving to another country, to Turkey. Turkey is part of the European Research Area. It's one of the 16 countries that is currently associated with the European Framework Program for Research and Innovation. And we are having two speakers that will talk to us about their opportunities. And I'm inviting to the stage Emrah Köker from Koç University, which is close to Istanbul. And our second speaker is Dr. Zara Banu Akas from the Middle East Technical University, which is close to Ankara. So I'm offering this stage to you, please.
Thank you. I can begin. I have a couple of slides which will take hopefully under 5 minutes. I'm representing Koç University from Istanbul, Turkey. I'm a project development manager here at the Research Support Office at Koç University. I'm also the work group leader who was responsible for the Human Resources Excellence for Researchers Award application for our university, which was successfully concluded as of February 2021 this year. So we are also now in the implementation phase for the award. So I'm also focusing on that. I have a couple of slides summarizing the research focus here at Koç University. First, we have 7 schools, 7 faculties, so to speak. Law school, administrative and economic sciences, mainly business administration and economics, social sciences and humanities. We have a couple of engineering departments under the School of Engineering, School of Sciences, hosting molecular biology and genetics, mathematics, physics, and chemistry departments. We have in the Topkapı Hospital campus, the School of Nursing and the School of Medicine in a separate hospital campus. They are located in a more central district in Istanbul. We in the main campus are located in northern Istanbul, on the European side of Istanbul. 4 graduate schools: business, sciences and engineering, social sciences and humanities, and health sciences. We have various MA and PhD programs under these graduate schools. And some of the leading centers I also wanted to talk about, but you can always contact me or look at the main website of the university to get more information. But feel free to email me about your research interests and possible hosting for the forthcoming postdoctoral fellowships program. We have a high capacity migration studies research center. We have 4 research centers focusing on cultural heritage, Byzantine studies, Ankara studies, Anatolian civilization studies, and other topics. 4 separate research centers on archaeology, art history, and cultural heritage topics. We have a center on gender studies. In the physical and engineering sciences and life sciences side, we have a recently established a huge translational medicine research center. Another established last year infectious diseases center. The establishment was, of course, sped up by the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic. We have a new center this year established, focusing on the university's about €5 million investment in the clean room and the infrastructure around the clean room, focusing on microchip development and other ICT topics around the clean room. Another recent center focusing on AI, artificial intelligence, big data, and machine learning research. We have a long-established Koç University Tüpraş Energy Research Center, and another center in focusing on surface technologies and nanomaterials research. These are only some of the leading centers that I can talk about, but I can also talk about some over these schools, graduate schools, and research centers some of the leading themes on scientific issues. Molecular biology and genetics in the general life sciences pillar. Molecular biology and genetics research comes forward. Infectious diseases, translational medicine, nanomedicine, bioinformatics, medical device development research, cardiovascular mechanics. These are some of the heavily emphasized research topics in life sciences. But of course, we have a huge operational hospital. So there are many other research topics related to health sciences in the various departments of the hospital, Koç University Hospital. Under physical and engineering sciences, leading topics might be photonics, optics, research on wireless and broadband networking, nanomaterials and advanced materials, including research that intersects defense research related to defense, national defense, and other military topics. A big lab on manufacturing. There is of course, through the new AI center, a huge focus on big data research, machine learning, and AI topics. There are various labs focusing on robotics and also microchip design, especially through the new infrastructure around the clean room at Koç University. This is another promising topic. This is going to be another promising topic in the future. In social sciences and humanities, one of the leading topics is migration research from IR, sociology, psychology departments established through this long established research center on migration studies. We have a media and visual arts department, and design studies and creative industries are big topics for researchers attached to the department. As I mentioned, we have 4 centers and various labs on cultural heritage and archaeological research. Social policy and welfare is another topic that comes forward. A new center on Asian studies is bringing together researchers that focus on different geographies in Asia in general. A new research center on computational social sciences is also moving forward since last year. This clean room is wrong here. Sorry for that. Experimental economics in the College of Administrative Sciences and Economics. Experimental economics is a leading topic. Civil society research, election studies, health policy, health logistics are among the other leading topics in the social sciences and humanities. Now, a couple of pointers on our experience, and I'm going to stop there. We have at Koç University hosted 37 Marie Curie action projects during FP7, the one before Horizon 2020, mostly incoming and outgoing fellowships. Under the recent Horizon 2020, Koç University was the most active Turkish university in this program. 19 individual fellowships hostings. We have an ITN and also a RISE participation in this program. As I mentioned, as of February, we are running the HR Excellence in Research Award. We are going to try to do our best to implement an action plan and move on from there, which we are giving a lot of importance to the running of this action on the side. What we do at the research office, I am one of the officers who is supporting Marie Curie proposals, IF, and now the Postdoctoral Fellowships program. We are giving guidance on the completion of the electronic documents we give feedback on various aspects of the excellence, impact, and implementation portions of the proposal. We try to provide all kinds of guidance in the pre-grant, pre-application phase of this application. And once there is a successful award, we are supporting the candidates for any matters relating to the coming to Turkey procedures, orientation with the university, and other kinds of HR related support. We are also providing that. So just finally, you can contact me for inquiries. You can send me your CVs. If you are looking for a supervisor, we will be trying to match candidates with potential supervisors, and we will be putting out a couple of announcements at the EURAXESS portal anyways. We have been receiving some interests from various centers and laboratories here at Koç University. So, but you feel free to email me at this address you're seeing, if you are interested in coming to Koç University with a PF application in the coming weeks. Thanks for listening to me, and I'll stop here.
May I invite Dr. Sarah now to give her presentation? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can you full screen?
It says you're started. Yeah, now we can see. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So thank you for giving me this opportunity as well. My name is Sara Bonhakkaş. I'm coming to this meeting today from Ankara. And I would like to just give you a few words and introduce University, Middle East Technical University to you. We are a university that was founded in 1950. Campus is in Ankara, and as you saw in the previous photo, it's actually in the middle of Turkey, but our lake on it as well. Afterwards, we have campuses established. Erdemli, Mersin, which is on the Mediterranean coast of Turkey, or Institute of Marine Sciences. And the third campus we have Cyprus, Kalkanlı area. And campuses with, as you can see, with at least 20 years of we have 5 faculties, so engineering, arts and sciences, economics and architecture. And we have also 5 institutes, including like the one I mentioned, the Institute of Marine Sciences, the Institution of Mathematics. And currently we have 31 research centers. Research centers in terms of the Turkish system are very interdisciplinary. So professors and academics affiliated to certain departments under faculties are also affiliated to research centers, and that's where the grounds for interdisciplinary research is established. A various range of research centers. That's why I prefer to give the link of our research centers, but it ranges from energy to education centers as well. 2 programs. Our university has been part of framework projects since FP5, and we have nearly 200 projects now. And as Emrah just mentioned in his presentation, Koç University and Metro are the two universities in Turkey to have the HR certification, and we are also in our implementation phase. And as my colleague was mentioning, I was also the working group leader for the HR logo, and we are also working on our implementation plan to improve the opportunities we provide to fellows like you here today. And so specifically for Horizon 2020, we have reached 50 projects here at METU, and nearly a 17 million euro share of FP funding has come to METU through these 50 projects. And we have 6 consortium coordinatorships, and I just want to, give a few examples of them, just so that you can get the feel of the variety. So these projects are at the Institute of Marine Sciences, working in depth on the Black Sea ecosystem. There are 2 other projects from food engineering. One is working on the confectionery sector, and the other one is working on tomato products. So so we have a variety of disciplines here at METU. And specifically looking at mercury data, is in individual fellowship, and they're older versions for you today. So since FP6, we have 27 things changed over the years, from career integration or reintegration grants and things like that. I didn't think of including the other Marie Curie data here. Instead, I actually wanted to share the co-funded Marie Curie projects that is being managed by our country. So we have a central system, TÜBİTAK, where it's like the Turkish National Science Foundation. They actually hosted their own Marie Curie project, and within that we were able to receive 7 fellows to METU as well. At METU, we don't actually have the habits of saying, these are our focus areas, because as I said, and basically, except for law, medicine, and agriculture, almost any discipline is being researched here at METU. But when we look at our framework projects, when you look at the themes, they fall under me. So renewable energy is one of them. Blue growth, as I said, is a very emerging discipline at the Marine Sciences Institute. Omics data analysis and applications is an emerging area here at METU. And information communication technologies, together with the robotics and artificial intelligence, is a very strong discipline here. And even though our name is Middle East Technical University, and even though, yes, we have a very technical background and a strong technical background, we are proud that we have also very strong social sciences and humanities group of researchers. And that is why that was the 6th area that was highlighted when you look at the FP project performance of METU. And when we were preparing for this presentation, we were asked that maybe we could mention where we share our offers. Well, the most important portal we use is obviously EURAccess, and that's why we're here today. And we not only share our hosting offers over there, we also share job offers either through it to METU or position offers in the departments. EURAccess is one of the most important tools we use, so you can reach our advertisements over there. And similarly, the Marie Curie post will be given soon as well. As actually since there is such a variety of disciplines here at METU, since we're not a very thematic university, We prefer to work together with candidates to match their supervisor with them. And then after we can give a main idea of like which department or which research center, upon that we were to find the exact person that works exactly in that area. I really like the French example. That was very informative. Maybe that's a note to be taken by me as well for a future presentation. And what type of supports we give are, of course, we give the, many other universities do. We have housing facilities. METU, at least in Ankara, is a huge campus, almost like a city of its own. So we have arranged for that for candidates who get funded and supported and come to Ankara. And of course, you select a supervisor, and of course, you are enabled to reach the facilities of that supervisor, obviously. But any other research infrastructure here at METU are also open to anybody's research. So from a certain department, that doesn't mean that another department, another research center's facilities are not open to you. We also have our guide for applicants. This is a very in-house documentation giving information about what will be provided or what kind of collaborations can be established within the university once while you're writing your project. And that's the kind of support my colleagues in the office also give. We have two experts in this area, one from natural sciences and one from social sciences, both with their PhD degrees in their own disciplines, who read the project word by word together with you. And here are our contact details. So if you have any questions, please feel free to write to either one of us here on this page. And hope to see you here at Ankara. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sara, for that. And thank you also, Emra. So from Turkey, we have a lot of offers, and it's really a rich destination as well for research. So we hope that you consider that. And they've been very open to share also their emails. So please contact them as well. Again, we would like to emphasize, don't worry, we are sharing the presentations and all the information that you are getting from here. I know it's a lot of information, but after the event, we are going to send you all of this information as well. So don't worry about that. So I just have one short question, and either of you can take it. So there is a query here. If the person is successful and will become a fellow in Turkey, does the person have to stay in Turkey for the whole duration, or so for the whole 2 years? So anyone?
I mean, I guess it is a very straightforward answer. If it is going to be hosted, a proposal that's going to be hosted in Istanbul or Ankara by a researcher coming from abroad, yes, most of the 24 months needs to be spent in the Turkish university. But there are, of course, like in the individual fellowships, there are options for secondments for a couple of months, depending on the framework of the scientific proposal. The candidate can spend research and development time in a company, in another European research organization. So, Banu, do you have anything to add?
I don't have anything specific to add. I mean, I think the general culture is to spend 2 semesters. We have 2 semesters here in Turkey. So the general culture would be spending the 9 months here. And if the research project itself requires any secondment or any field study or anything, those would be pursued over the summer. but that's just the general habit. That doesn't mean that those are the specific months you are allowed to go, obviously. That's the only thing I could add to Emrah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I have this message. It's from chat from Dr. Gay Sentinkaya Kampari. There are other opportunities from Turkey, of course, and she wrote here, TÜBİTAK research centers and institutes. So there's a wealth of information. So we will be sending it as well. As Dr. Sarah was saying, Euraxis is a good place for, to search all these information. But for the meantime, I'll say goodbye to you both, and I'll go to the next presenter. And this is quite special to me because I actually did my Marie Curie in the UK. So I was in Bradford for the Center of Excellence in Sustainable Peace Building. So to talk about the United Kingdom, I present to you Dr. Branwen Hyde.
Thank you. Just bear with me 1 second while I get my presentation up. And I hope that you can all see that well now. And thank you to Jenny and Suzanne and the other organizers for inviting me to participate today, and for those of you who have attended for giving up your time to listen to us for this wonderful event. I'm Dr. Branwen Hyde. I'm one of the 2 UK Merrick Curie NCPs, and I'm also a senior European advisor for the UK Research Office based in Brussels. And together with Innovate, we actually provide the Brussels presence for the UK Research and Innovation Funding Council. And today I'm going to be giving you a little overview about the UK as a destination. And before I kind of go through why you might want to do your fellowship in the UK, how to identify a host organization and the types of support available, I will just touch upon the UK's participation in Horizon Europe. As I'm sure you are all very well aware, the UK left the European Union, but we will be associating to Horizon Europe. So on the 24th of December, the UK government announced the conclusions of the negotiation with the European Commission. And this included the confirmation that the UK will fully associate to Horizon Europe as well as Euratom. And this ensures that the UK will be able to fully participate in the Merrick Curie program. As outlined in the dedicated Q&A from the Commission, which we have the link here, all UK entities will have full rights to participate in the very first set of calls of proposals of Horizon 2020. Now, in some very exceptional cases, primarily in the collaborative projects under what is known as the Pillar 2, there may be some justified exceptions where we would have some restrictions to participation, but we will be able to fully participate in the Merrick Curie actions. So what does this actually mean? It means that UK institutions will be eligible to act as a host for all European fellows and fellowships. We will be able to act as a host for the incoming phase of a global fellowship. And we are not eligible to act as an outgoing host for the global fellowships. As an associated country, we effectively have all the same rights and obligations as a member state. And in a quick and easy way, it's just to think of us as a member state, and that it is business as usual for those who would like to come and work in the UK with regards to European funding, and for the organizations in the UK as well. So hopefully you are a bit more rest assured that the UK can fully participate in this scheme. And so what does the UK have to offer? Why would you actually want to come to the UK? And I'll talk a bit about the opportunities in a second, but what I wanted to talk about here is really about the UK as a whole. The UK as a whole and the environment to which you would be working if you would chose to come and do your fellowship in the UK. The UK has a really long-standing history of successful participation across all of the Merrick Curie actions. Looking specifically at the individual fellowships under Horizon 2020, so the previous framework program, in the 2020 call, so the last call that we just had, we were awarded 311 individual fellowships to UK host organizations, and we were the most popular host country. And this is just a continuation of what we've seen in previous years. And for example, in 2019, where we were successfully awarded 287 fellowships to UK-based organizations. It's really important, we do talk a lot about support, that to understand that most institutions, so most research organizations in the UK actually have dedicated support for European research and innovation funding. This is what we call, can be in the form of pre-award, so really at that application stage to help you understand the kind of ins and outs of the funding, help you develop your proposal, navigate the templates, and also will often have access to provide you with copies of successful proposals. They will read them, they will edit them, and they will really work with you to fully develop your proposal. They can also help you with some of the nitty-gritty of the support submissions, but actually how the whole portal that you have to use for the submission process actually works. They'll be able to review your CV and help to navigate any internal policies and procedures that you would need to be aware of as an applicant. And also they'll be able to help you understand internal structures and opportunities. For example, many research organizations in the UK have designated teams with regards to training, public engagement, communication, and innovation, and they can help put you in contact with those teams so that you can help better develop your project and your proposal. In terms of post-award support, so after you've been successfully awarded your support, again, most of the institutions have dedicated teams to help you make the most of your fellowship. They really do understand all the funding rules and regulations, what you can and cannot do, so that you don't really need to worry about that so much and really can just focus on doing what you want to do, which is your research and your training as part of your fellowship. As I've said, the UK is a very popular destination, not only for individual fellowships, but we also see a large involvement in all the other Marie Curie schemes, so the doctoral training, co-fund, the research staff exchanges. And so most institutions do have dedicated communities of Marie Curie researchers to which you would be able to join and be a part of, as well as things like the Marie Curie Alumni Association, which has a dedicated UK chapter. And then the whole environment of research and innovation in the UK is incredibly multicultural and international. So again, you have a very rich environment to which you would be coming to work. Most of the UK institutions also have a very long-standing commitment to ensuring good working conditions and supporting the professional development of researchers, which are two fundamental elements of Marie Curie. This is through things such as the Concordat to support the career development of researchers, which has been around since approximately 2008, to which most UK universities and other organizations have signed up to really demonstrate that they support and encourage good working environments in the career development of researchers, which means they do actively monitor and make sure that all of their staff have access to this. They are also, as a result of signing up the Concordat, means that they are almost all have signed up to the HR Excellence in Research and have that designation. And most of the institutions, or at least departments with most of the UK research organizations, have also signed up and received, or are attempting to, I should say, are hoping to receive the Athena Swan certification. And the Athena Swan certification is about looking at gender equality in the workplace and ensuring that there are equal opportunities for all. So this is just to show that the environment to which you will be working in is really enriched and is really there to support you as an individual researcher, with a lot of dedicated support across all the different elements, which are really important to be successful with regards to your proposal, but also the implementation of your Marie Curie project. So what are the opportunities and how do I identify those within the UK? I don't have a full list at all of opportunities, and the reason being is that pretty much every research organization in the UK would be very open to actually hosting a Marie Curie Fellow. And most of the way that they will do this either through identifying people themselves or actually being contacted. And it's important to know that UK research institutions really cover all research areas, from A to Z, so archaeology to zoology, and at all stages of the research pipeline. So from really fundamental, basic research all the way through to near market uptake. So really whatever you might want to do with your research and your career development, you can do that in the UK, and there will be someone, generally speaking, who you could match with and would want to work with. Some organizations do formal advertisements, so either on the organizational website or the personal research pages of individual researchers. They will often use social media, so Twitter and LinkedIn, to highlight opportunities where they are actively looking for a fellow to come and work with them. Or they'll use things, as we've already mentioned, the Your Access Jobs portal, but also there's a dedicated portal search tool. And once the call is open, that will be again open as well for the specific individual fellowship. So there are formal advertisement routes, but most of the time in the UK in particular, it is done through informal means. And so the thing for you is to think about what it is that you want to achieve with your research. What makes you what are you interested in terms of your research area? And actually, what else do you need in terms of your career development and training? Because a postdoctoral fellowship is really about research and training, and it's training through research. So it's really important to remember that those two elements are crucial. And they're crucial when you're thinking about identifying your supervisor. And that doesn't mean that you always have to go to the most well-known or the most senior person within that member of staff of the organization. You can go to more junior staff, particularly if you think they are the best person for you to work with what you are hoping to achieve. Often when we're a bit younger in our career, we don't really think we have a network, but actually we generally do. You have friends, you have colleagues that you can talk to. So when you're talking to them, ask them, let them know you're interested in becoming a Marie Curie Fellow. Do they have any ideas of who would make a good potential supervisor for you? And they might be able to help put you directly in contact with them, or you can contact them independently. I'd also recommend looking at the literature for your research area. Is there someone's work when you're reading, when you've been doing your literature reviews and just keeping up to date, that their work particularly resonates with you? You think, I'd really love to go and work with them. Their work that they're doing is really interesting. It really aligns with what I'm interested in. I know that it's been a bit of a difficult year in terms of COVID, but there has been many conferences that have been online, or maybe before COVID, you met someone at a conference, you heard them speak, you saw some posters. I thought, actually, again, they're really interesting. I got along with them very well. I think they're doing some really interesting research, and I would really be keen to work with them and develop my research in line with theirs. It's also a very good way. And then another way of thinking about it, is there somewhere I've always wanted to go? Is it a geographical place that you've always wanted to spend some time, or maybe an institution that you've always wanted to go to? Look at those institutions within that area, look at the institution that you might be interested in going to, see what the work that they are doing. Is there anything there that you would also like to get involved in that, as I said, particularly resonates you, gets you really excited? Once you've done this, then what? So I've got some ideas of where I'd like to go. The first thing really is just to contact them. If you do have kind of colleagues or people in common, they can offer to introduce you, but it's really particularly in the UK, and I would feel that this would be across all the different countries and organizations, that actually researchers are very keen to be contacted, and they're very happy for younger researchers to contact them. If you do, make sure you are really clear on what you're asking them for. Explain why you want to work with them, why that institution, and I would also encourage you to include a little bit of a summary of your background by way of an introduction. My experience talking to researchers is that when they are contacted, the very first thing that they will do is they will do a Google search. So they will look for the person who's contacted them and see what other information they can find. So with that in mind, I would really encourage you all to make sure that your research pages and websites are really up to date. What have you been doing? Making sure that your CV is up to date, and include all those activities that would demonstrate that you are the right candidate for a postdoctoral fellowship. Look at, obviously, currently the call documentation is unfortunately not available, hopefully very, very soon. But you can even look at past documents or past templates, past evaluation criteria to give you an indication of those types of activities they might be looking for. And don't forget, it's not just about what you have done, but what you want to do in the future. Think about what your research are and make those very clear, because when the potential supervisor looks at your profile, they want to think about how you would fit with them. And the only way you can really do that is to understand what it is that you want to work on next. And just a little bit about social media, just to remember, there's a bit of personal versus professional, and that, as I said, they will be Googling you. So if there's anything out there in your social media that maybe you don't want to see any potential employers to see, just have a think about that. So what support is available? So you've identified a potential host, you've contacted them, they're really keen to work with you. As I said, most UK research organizations have dedicated support teams. And your potential supervisor will be able to help you get in contact with them. As Marie Curie NCPs, we're very happy to answer any questions that you might have on basic eligibility, where to find templates, kind of anything and everything for proposal development or during implementation as well, either via email or virtual meetings. We also do dedicated information and training events for applicants, and all our resources that we do through the national contact points are made freely available on our website. And we did recently have some training for the 2021 Postdoctoral Fellowships Call, which I would be I would recommend that you have a look at. There's slides and recordings, and there's some case studies of current fellows kind of explaining how their process of applying and how it's worked for them and the benefits of their fellowship. As I mentioned, I work for the UK Research Office. In addition to being part of UK Research Innovation Funding Agency, we are actually a subscriber-based organization, and we have over 140 different UK and EU-based subscribing organizations. So again, this is also a good starting point in terms of identifying organizations. But to those organizations, we offer tailored support and are able to answer any EU funding related questions. So this is just another element of support that you would get through the university or research organization to which you would be applying. We also had dedicated fact sheets, for example, on immigration and the UK relationship with the EU. If you are looking to work kind of with SMEs or with business sector, we also have a network of subject-specific national contact points and more dedicated support to industry, which you can either contact directly or you can contact us as a MSCA NCPs, and we can help direct you accordingly. So we have a lot of support that we provide not only to the applicants, but to the organizations as well, to ensure that everyone is as successful as possible. And that's my presentation today. I hope that it was all very clear. I'm very happy to answer any questions now. I know that we will get the Q&A after, but if in a couple of days from now as well, or a weeks or months, you have further questions, please do not hesitate to contact us on the help desk, and our address is right there.
Thank you so much. There's a wealth of information there. And yeah, I gotta say, like, it's, the UK is really a great place to be, even if it rains a lot, but, you have a lot of things to do, and the research is, of course, very rich. And, you can also have partner with like different institutions that are not necessarily like connected maybe to your course, but it, opens your mind to other things that you can do. So thank you so much for that, Dr. Branwen. I just have one question for you before we go to the other presentations. There is a specific question where says, this is from Nurul. Can a potential applicant who's not European and not based in Europe apply to an institution in the UK?
Absolutely. We are fully open for business, as it were. We have no restrictions on nationality or where you have to be before you submit your application. So it's open to researchers currently based in Europe, but equally all over the world. So we'd be very happy to host fellows from anywhere. And as I said, we have a lot of, you might be aware that there's been some immigration changes, but actually it's much easier now for researchers to come to the UK, particularly through the Mary Skłodowska-Curie actions. And again, we can help you understand what those processes are and direct you to the right immigration authorities to get the correct advice as well.
There you go. So I'll say goodbye to you for a few minutes, but I'll bring you back later on. And now I'd like to introduce to you two speakers from Slovakia, which is actually our playground every weekend when I lived in Vienna for some years. So I want to introduce to you to Sylvia Katolikova. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, and Zuzana Reptova. So please, the room is yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My name is Sylvia Katolikova. I work for SAIA, that is National Mobility Funding Agency, and today with Zuzana Reptova, who is MSCA NCP for Slovakia. We will present you Slovakia as an attractive research destination for you as potential MSCA fellows. So just few facts from the very beginning. We are in very heart of Europe. We are a small country, just around 5 million of inhabitants. And we are relatively a young country. We were established in 1993 after the split of Czechoslovakia. We are a member of European Union. Our currency is euro and official language is Slovak. Of course, Slovakia is also a member of various international organizations, groupings, and programs, including Horizon Europe. As for the research and innovation landscape, so I would like to present you with few facts or few figures. So most of the R&D organization belong to the business enterprise sector, and the rest of our research and innovation landscape consists of government, higher education, and private non-profit sector. Higher education sector consists of 38 higher education institutions, public, state, and private, with 18 multidisciplinary universities that carry out top-notch research. As for the government sector consists of Slovak Academy of Sciences with 41 research institutes, again, carrying out cutting-edge research, and other research institutes like state departmental research institutes and state non-departmental institutes. So more details are available at our national EURAXESS portal. When it comes to personnel, so the majority of R&D personnel are employed in the higher education sector, as you can see, and then private sector. And as for the fields of science, so most people work in technological sciences, the natural sciences, and social sciences. So all these details are available, as I already mentioned, at our national EURAXESS portal. And now, at that moment, I would like to give the floor to the national NCP, Zuzana Reptova, who will present you with the expressions of interest and all the organizations that are very interested to welcome you as potential MSCA fellows. So, Zuzana, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. And let me start by telling you that if you choose Slovakia as a host institute, you will also get access to 2 additional opportunities, basically for gaining funding with the same project application. Why am I saying this? Is that from past experience, we know that the project, in order to succeed in MSCA competition, needs to score at around 85% or higher, depending on the panel in which it is competing. And we also know that the MSCA scheme is getting more competitive each year. So if you choose your project scores really well, but it does not score above this 95 or 97%, and you were applying to Slovakia, you will be automatically considered for funding under 2 related schemes. No effort needed on your side. The same project will be used for evaluation in these schemes. So first of them is a so-called ERA Fellowship, the European Research Area Fellowship, which, as I mentioned, requires no effort from your side. Your MSCA application will be taken into account for both the MSCA and this ERA Fellowship at the same time, actually. This is because Slovakia is part of so-called widening countries, which is an activity under Horizon Europe framework, but different from the MSCA activity itself. There is no difference in these 2 budgets and the way they can be used for your MSCA project. The only difference is the name of the fellowship itself. So that is a pretty unique opportunity to multiply your chances. Secondly, there is one more support scheme offering finance to projects that gain the seal of excellence. That means to projects that scored above 85%, but that did not manage to get finance either at the European level with MSCA or the European level with the ERA Fellowship for widening countries. In this case, Slovak government foresees to open next year a national scheme to finance these kind of projects for those researchers intending to come to Slovak institutions. Next slide, please. This initiative of today, first of all, I want to very much thank the organizers for the chance to speak here, because it really received a warm feedback by the Slovak institutions. We've just sent a short question about interest and received as many as 31 various hosting offers, which will be shared with you shortly after this workshop. So what I'm going to give you now is just an appetizer from what is out there and what is available. Let me start from what all our hosting offers do have in common. All of these institutions that will be presented in the file that you'll receive after today's workshop are institutions that have experience with international hosting and many of them also have specific experience with different types of Mariki reactions. If you are applying to any of these institutions, or if you're applying for MSCA fellowship through any of these institutions, you may always turn to the Slovak National Contact Point for advice, for consultation, or for project proofreading during your preparation and before submitting your proposal. The only condition is that you do so together with your future host institution. If you win a fellowship, then you may turn to the NCP here to help you navigate the post-award procedures and all that is necessary towards signing the grant agreement and then throughout the grant implementation and reporting. You may also turn to Euraccess Slovakia for help with practicalities of your relocation to our little big country. Now the next 3 slides may give you a taste of what is out there in terms of potential hosts. Right now we're looking at a slide where the thematic focus areas of some of the advertised positions revolves around the study of materials, techniques, and civil engineering, broadly understood. Let me first invite you to read by yourself through the research fields and to look for the topical areas of your interest maybe. Just to briefly go through the offers, these offers include the major players in the R&E field, like the 2 Slovak universities of technology in the capital, Bratislava, and the Technical University in Košice, both of which are offering hosting in civil engineering. There are also more hosting offers open in the same unit in Bratislava, such as the Slovak University of Technology's Electronics and Photonics Department, or a position in nuclear material science. If there's more positions within the same little department itself or within the same lab, then they are marked as ABC here in the list. That means those are 2 different or 3 different hosting positions themselves. Our oldest university, the Comenius University, also located in the capital, is looking for a fellow interested in synthesis of chiral compounds. Then we have a couple of research centers located around the country, some of them with well-internationalized research centers, such as the Fan Glass Center at the Alexander Dubček University in Trenčín, which focuses on particular research of functional and surface functionalized glass, or as the Department of Pavol Jozef Šafárik University in the 2nd biggest city in Slovakia, specialized in physical chemistry. Most of these offers are hosted by public universities. The only non-university in this list is the Slovak Academy of Sciences, which my colleague Silvia has already mentioned before. Slovak Academy of Sciences has currently 2 hosting offers in this area, and that is the study of materials with high degree of structural disorder, and then in the Department of Geotechnics. Once again, all the details of each hosting offer can be found in the document that will be shared with you briefly after today's meeting. Let me jump to another appetizer in the field of broadly understood intelligent technology, applied informatics, and robotics. Briefly about the hosts here, as I can take the luxury, as we only have 3 in this field, to tell at least a sentence about each. The Kempelen Institute of Intelligent Technologies in Bratislava is a research laboratory which brings together experts in artificial intelligence and other areas of computer science. This lab is currently looking to host fellows in 3 fields, including deep learning for natural language processing, web and user data processing, but also data analytics for green energy. Yeah, the next one, University of Žilina, has 11 fields of research open for hosting an MSCA fellow. All of them are in the area of management science and informatics. This university grew its interest in informatics actually from its historical focus on transport and communications. So this influences most of the research lines presented here. The Slovak University of Technology has done a couple of hosting offers in applied informatics and robotics, including the Automotive Innovation Lab. And at the moment, car production represents really a large share of Slovak GDP, therefore much attention is paid to related R&E activities. My last slide, please. And on this one last slide, no, the one before that, thank you very much. And on this one last slide from me, this is a rather wild compilation to illustrate the diversity of offers, ranging from molecular biology at our oldest university through researching neuroinfections at a specialized one faculty University of Veterinary Medicine, a couple of offers at the Slovak Academy of Sciences, where there is a place for those interested in neuroimmunology research or those interested in experimental psychology and suspect beliefs. From a rather different angle, the Machiavelli University, a member of eMERGE, European Alliance of Universities, offers to host fellows in several areas of Romance studies, among others. And once again, I would like to draw your attention to the compilation of hosting offers, where you will find information about each host institution, what they offer, what they would welcome, and the contact person, either the potential supervisor, him or herself, or someone who can help you identify the best supervisor in your field of research. And as I mentioned, these will be shared to you by the organizers after this webinar, and I'm happy to yield the floor back to Sylvia.
Thank you. And I will just like to draw your attention also to EURAX's Jobs and Funding database, where there are currently 13 more positions for postdocs in Slovakia, funded from different resources, not only from Marie Skłodowska-Curie actions. And once you receive postdoc position in Slovakia, we would be very happy to help you with assistance and support with your relocation before your arrival and after your arrival. And EURAX in Slovakia provides personal assistance on visa, residence permit, social security, but also daily life issues like finding doctor and so on, so on, so on. We also organize a lot of webinars, workshops, career development training, and social integration events. So we are most welcome to contact us, to approach us directly with any question you may have. All this information is available at the National EURAXES portal. And also, I would like to draw your attention to a user-friendly, clickable navigation app for visa and residence permit, which is very helpful when finding a procedure for your administrative duties before arrival, and also after arrival into Slovakia. And this is all from our side. So if you have any questions now or later on and you would like to ask, so you are most welcome to contact us, both me on my my email address, but also NCP Susanna, and we will do our best to provide you with exhaustive information. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sylvia and Susanna. I mean, that's really great because, it's not just the application, right? But even, before you go to Slovakia, we have a lot of questions. It's a foreign place. So your offer of like having this support even before going to Slovakia and also inside Slovakia, that really takes the edge off, I think. So thank you so much for that. If you don't mind, I'll say goodbye to you for a few minutes, because we have another presentation, and this time we will travel all the way to Spain, and we have three incredible people who are joining us, who have a lot of ideas to share. So I'll give the floor to them. So we have Jesus Rojo, Mark Davis, and Maria Villa. Thank you so much. And sorry, we have Herman Infante. I'm sorry, Herman. So Herman Infante is here with us as well. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Jesus Rojo, and I'm the national contact point. I'm going to share my presentation with you. A minute. Okay. So I'm one of the national contact point in Spain. We are actually 4 from the beginning of this Horizon Europe program. My name is Jesus Rojo. I work in Fundación Madrid+D. It's a public foundation from the regional government in Madrid region. And together with Cristina Gomez, Maria Herrero, and Xavier Ecut, we are the Spanish national contact points. I'm delighted to share this slot with two great regional research centers that will explain and show their opportunities to develop your career in different fields. Here are our mailbox, so you can contact us if you are going to research in Spain, so we can provide you advice and support in your proposal. I want to share with you, we are the first EU member states after the UK for sure. And now with the Brexit, we can say that we are the first EU member state receiving funding projects for Maria Sklodowska Curie Individual Fellowship during Horizon 2020. You can see Spain is a very open country to receive any researcher from any country, any nationality. Here you can check all the Spanish Maria Sklodowska Curie Action hosting opportunities. I want to introduce one national research center that sent us this opportunity. Is the Spanish National Center for Cardiovascular Research. They publish different positions and opportunities if you are working on this field. Actually, they are offering different opportunities in molecular genetics, multidisciplinary translation of cardiovascular research, regulatory molecules, nanomedicine and molecular imaging, genetic control of organ development and regeneration, and functional genetics, and finally also molecular and genetic cardiovascular pathology, zoology. And this National Research Center is very active and they are very experienced. Anyway, any Spanish institution is always ready to support you. You can contact any of these EU project office or technology transfer office. They will assist you, they will help you with your proposal, even with or support from the national contact point teams, and nothing more. I want to let the floor to the Indiana Nanoscience and Indiana Materials, a great research center that they are very successful on Marie Curie proposal, and they will show you the research lines and the opportunities. Thank you.
Hello, I guess I'll just start. Okay, hello. My name's Mark Davis. I'm from the Research Projects Office at the Madrid Institute for Advanced Studies in Nanoscience. So in the Nanociencia, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about today and where we are, who we are, and what we do. I'll also give you a little bit more information about the offers we have and what we can do to support applicants for these postdoctoral fellowships. So we're in the south of Europe. India Nanoscience is in the center of Spain. So we're in the capital, in Madrid. So we're just about 20 minutes north of the capital on a university campus, which is the ideal kind of environment to carry out any research project. So who are we? We're a non-profit foundation. So we were founded by the regional government of Madrid and the Spanish Ministry of Science and Education. And our mission is really simple. It's to attract talent in the strategic areas related to nanoscience and nanotechnology, and to carry out research of excellence. So as you can see, we're a perfect fit for the MSCA fellowships. We're interested in attracting international talent. And again, it's to carry out research of excellence. So to just give you an idea about who we are, we're around about 220 staff and 200 researchers. Of those researchers, around about 40 to 50 are postdoctoral fellows. At any one time, we usually host about 90 pre-doctoral fellows as well. We're a really international research center. We're represented by over 18 nationalities here at India Nanoscience. And one thing I wanted to say is we were founded in 2007, 2008. We've been in our building for 2012, and while we're a young research institute from our foundation, we're also a young research institute in terms of our age. The average age, including all the group leaders, is 35 years old. And to tell you a little bit about what we do high impact interdisciplinary research. So by interdisciplinary research, we're talking about chemists, physicists, biologists, engineers, medical doctors, all working together in collaborative projects at the Institute. And by high impact, what I wanted to just show you, we publish around about 220 papers a year. 3/4 of what we publish is in the first quartile, and around about 40% of what we publish is in the first decile. So what I wanted to say is that if you do come and decide to do a fellowship, apply for a fellowship in India and Nanociencia, you'll have the opportunity to publish your work. Our research programs, being an interdisciplinary research centre, are spread out in 4 thematic areas. So we have secure and efficient energy, health, climate action and raw materials, and also security. So the first 2 programs, organic nanosystems for light harvesting and energy conversion. This is work in photovoltaics and batteries. We also have a large program in program 2 in 2D materials. So this is both theory and making devices. Program 3 is nanomedicine against cancer and infection. So this is nanotechnologies applied to health. Looking at program 4, nanomagnetism and critical raw materials. So the idea is using our large experience in nanomagnetism area to apply to some societal challenges. Finally, program 5 is a newer program in solid state quantum devices, so in security, ICT. All these scientific programs are supported by a transversal program in a technology translational platform. This is to allow any of the researchers in the Institute who have an interest in applying their technologies. This platform provides a proof of concept lab where you can make prototypes of devices, if that's relevant, or contact with industry to try and apply some of the outcomes from these research projects. To give you an idea of the type of research we do, I've just picked 2 projects that I'll briefly mention that show the 2 different types of research we carry out at India and Nanociencia. And these are large European funded consortium projects. This one up here is NoCantha. This is in the nanomedicine area. And this is a consortium of 12 partners from 5 different European countries that have come together to try to develop a therapy against pancreatic cancer. In this case, there was magnetic nanoparticles developed at India and Nanociencia that have been approved for a clinical study last year. And this has entered patients just at the beginning of this year. So with this, I wanted to show you that this is really basic science that's been developed here at India and Nanociencia. But we've had an opportunity through EU funding to take this and work as part of a collaborative project into humans. At the other end of the scale is this European Research Council project. So this is a big synergy project. And this is more blue sky research. This is something that the European Research Council funds. And this is looking at disruptive secondary resolved nanoscience. So this is spectroscopists, synthetic chemists, theoreticians coming together to look at this new area of science. And this is based in 2 centers in Madrid and a center in Milan, in Italy. Our experience at hosting fellows, we've hosted over 20 fellows of all the different categories. We're currently hosting 4 fellows. Their names are there with their project names as well. But what I wanted to show is not only are we an institute that welcomes individual fellows or postdoctoral fellows, a lot of our group leaders are actually ex-Marie Curie fellows themselves. And I've just shown a selection of 8 of the people here who have held Marie Curie fellowships in the last kind of 15 years. Because we're a young research institute, quite often we get applications through the Marie Curie Fellowship Program. So I think this is an interesting thing to keep in mind. We're a destination for hosting fellows, and also we're a destination for people to carry out their future academic career. Application support. So we have all of our expressions of interest will be available on our website in the next week. Also via the Your Access website, you should be able to access some of the expressions of interest we've got up there. One of the things we offer for selected applicants who've contacted with a supervisor is we have online workshops. So it's a training program that allows you to access video lectures, interactive group exercises, there's a discussion board, and of course, you'll have full support from the India Projects Office. Once you're here as a fellow, one thing we do offer is a full range of scientific seminars, and also we have a full range of transferable skills training courses. So what's nice about this is that you get a chance to experience both the science in the area that you're interested in, but also we offer courses that support your professional development planning. We offer courses in scientific writing in English. We also offer courses in visual communication. And one important part is the Research Support Office will support you in developing your personal career development plan as part of your training. Finally, I just wanted to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about a new project we have in India Nanoscience. This is the DEAL program. This is an MSCA co-fund program. And in this program, we're looking for 12 postdoctoral fellows to carry out a research project of their own choosing at the centre. This is about to be launched in the next 2 weeks. The call opens on the 1st of July. One thing I would say is take a look at our Twitter account for this project, because that's where all the information about the call release will happen. So again, this is very similar to the Marie Curie Postdoctoral Fellowships, but part of a co-fund network. Finally, you can contact us. We're a small team here at India Nanoscience, but we have a lot of experience. Myself and Marije run the projects office, and you can contact us directly at Proyectos Nanosciencia for any questions related to hosting opportunities. Also, I would encourage you to check the website. And one thing, certainly we're very active on social media. All of our job adverts, all of our calls for expressions of interest will be released first through our Twitter feed. And also I'd take this opportunity to thank the organisers for the opportunity to tell you a little bit about our institute and our hosting office. And thank you very much for listening.
So I think
Thank you very much. Yes.
I will continue and just a couple of seconds so that I share my presentation. Hope that you can see my presentation now. My name is Germán Infante. I work at the Project Management Office at Indea Materials. So Indea Materials and Indea Nanoscience are sister institutes. So I am not going to repeat what my colleague has introduced before, because we basically share the same vision and mission. We are also located in Madrid, which is a very nice region just in the middle of Spain with vibrant culture, nature, and so on. And we are part of the network of Indea Institutes together with Indea Nanoscience. And our vision is exactly the same as Indea Nanoscience, but in a different field. So we do research of excellence at the forefront of material science and engineering. That's our field of expertise. And we work to tackle the challenges of society, and we try to foster the sustainable development of Madrid region. So we are a little bit smaller than in the nanoscience. We are around 100 researchers, and we are structured in 16 research groups. Also very international. Around 50% of our researchers are foreign nationals, and around 60% of the PhDs were granted by universities all around the world. You can see just a list here. We have almost 3,000 meters of research labs to manufacture, characterize, and simulate advanced materials and nanomaterials, including their integration in laboratory scale prototypes and devices. So we are focused on basic and applied science. We are basically structured in 4 areas or programs. So we work in advanced manufacturing, we develop novel materials, we are well-recognized expert in multi-scale characterization of materials and processes, and we are also very strong in integrated computational materials engineering. So we are focused in 4 sectors: transport, industry, energy, and health. So in this slide, you can see a little bit more in detail the areas where we are working right now, but you can go through these once the presentation will be distributed. What I wanted to focus right now is, well, I would say that the main difference between Indea institutes and some other institutes in Spain and around the world is really the level of support our researchers get. I mean, we have a research support office that will support you concerning visa and work permits, soft landing, which means family and housing support. We also organize social and outreach activities. We have a training program in soft skills. We provide English and Spanish lessons. And we support all candidates concerning proposal writing. And if they are successful, we will also appoint someone to help them with the administrative management and technology transfer issues. So that, I will say, is the main difference between our institute and other research institutes in Spain. So we also have a long track record of hosting Marie Curie Fellows. Take into account that we are a small and medium-sized institute, but we have been successful in all calls in the individual fellowships along last year, and we were awarded an average of one individual fellowship per year along the past 7 years. You can see in this chart our track record. And now the most important part for you, that's the list of hosting offers we have for call 2021 of the postdoctoral fellowships. They are advertised on our website. You have the link there, and our website will refer you to Euraccess. So as other participants, we upload everything to Euraccess. So if you are interested, please send your expression of interest, which is a resume, plus a 2-page outline of the proposed research project, to the principal investigator. You will see the list afterwards, before 15th of July. So we have, as I said, we have 8 hosting offers for this year. One in multi-scale modeling of phase transformation and microstructure evolution in metallic alloys. Another one in tissue engineering and regenerative medicine, which is a new line we opened a few years ago. Another one on multi-scale modeling in mechanics and multiphysical problems. The fourth one is about solution processing of 1D nanomaterials for assembly as macroscopic materials for energy storage and conversion. We have another group offering hosting offering data-driven materials discovery. We are also keen on receiving applications in fire-safe energy storage materials for batteries. We are also working in smart manufacturing of structural composites by using artificial intelligence. And finally, we would like to receive offers or expressions of interest in materials development using additive manufacturing. So the next slides are basically a summary of each of our hosting offers. You have on the right the researcher in charge of each of them. And the way to contact them, as you can see in our website, is to directly email them and follow the instructions, and they will be happy to interact with you and to prepare a successful proposal. So, and finally, you can reach us in our website, and we are also very active in Twitter and LinkedIn. We post almost everything we do there. So if you want to be updated, just follow us. So that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, German. And thank you once again to all of our speakers for really a fantastic overview over the wide array of opportunities that are available for our participants in today's session. We are receiving a huge number of questions, and a lot of you are asking about specific institutions in Europe. You're asking about very specific programs that you have in mind. Let me just summarize again. This is a fellowship that is open to applicants of all nationalities, and it is open to all scientific disciplines. There are no specific institutions in each country that are earmarked for this program. So you can work on the assumption that any institution, any university that you're looking at, research institutions, also institutions from the private sector, are more than willing and very excited to host you as applicants. The call is going to open very likely on the 22nd of June. So this is all subject to final approval, but we can all work on the assumption that this is opening in the next few days. And as we heard, the call deadline is the 12th of October, again, subject to approval, but let's all work on that basis. So this is now your opportunity to study the offers that we have presented today and make contact with the institution or with the host that you're interested in. You will receive the recording of today's session and you will receive all the presentation material. So just give us a couple of days, it will all be shared with you and then you have the opportunity to look at it in detail. We will also share all the questions that we have received in the session today via email with the panelists. So they will be sure of this, get back to you and respond to you directly as well. I would like to invite you to just look at our YouTube channel, just search Euraxis ASEAN on YouTube and you will come across our YouTube channel where you will also find a recording of a webinar that we hosted earlier last month detailing the call modalities. So if you're a little bit unsure over who can apply, how do you apply, and what support is available, please also make use of that material. I think maybe we just do a kind of a lightning round because we have already run over time, but I see everybody is still in the session, which means everybody is interested. And maybe I see Eugenia on my screen here. Eugenia, what kind of candidate are you looking for? Just kind of a quick message to the people now that are excited. What are you looking for in a candidate that wants to go to France?
Well, of course, excellent candidates, but also candidates who have a clear vision of their professional objectives, the plan they have for their career, and well, who know how to explain it, how to express it in the proposal.
Thank you, Eugenia. And maybe Brenwyn, to you, you're also an NCP. What should be the first thing? Anyone who's listened today, what should be the next step that they should be taking?
Well, as I said, hopefully the documents will be out very soon, but the first step I would say is to look and read the call documents that come through, look at the different Mercure NCPs from the different member states. Some of them have had events, have information, but really get yourself familiar with what the scheme is asking for, what the expectations are, and then that will also help you to decide where would be the best place for you actually to undertake that fellowship, so that you do have a clear understanding that is a research and training and mobility scheme.
Thank you so much, Brenwyn. Jesus, I know you're also very experienced in this. Maybe your advice, if someone says, I want to reach out to a supervisor, but I'm scared they will not respond to me. Do you have maybe a few tips how to craft an email that you do get a response?
Yes, I think the best option is, and the first one is to contact a supervisor that is aligned with your research idea, your research line. But if you don't get any response, I would suggest to contact the EU project office at the university or the research center, explaining that you are working in that field and you contact that person. And maybe they can signposting to another supervisor in the same department or unit. And I think this is the best option, supervisor and after the EU project officer. Many of the staff in any Spanish institution is well trained and they can advise. Not only looking for the best supervisor, but also review your proposal, giving you tips and also information about the institution, because the postdoctoral fellowship is not only a research project, it's a research and a training and development of your career. So you need some information about the institution and the opportunities they are offering, like in their nanoscience and material, they're offering you transferable skill training and other communication training and other skills that will support your career development.
Thank you so much, Jesus. And Sylvia, lots of candidates here are very excited about Slovakia. It's probably not been on their map before. Now they're a little bit concerned about language. Do they need to speak Slovak to come to Slovakia?
Well, of course, it's good if they speak some language for their daily life, but it usually concerns life outside university cities or research cities or capital or large cities. But if they are coming for postdoctoral positions, so actually they will be able to communicate and to live with their English actually as an international language or lingua franca of R&D world.
Thank you. And final question, what is it that we're seeing in the background?
Well, this is capital of Bratislava, and you see the castle that is on the top of the one of the hill, and Danube, River Danube, that is the one of the largest and most, well, one of the important rivers in Europe actually, and it crosses like 6 or 8 countries. So yeah, so this is Danube and castle and Bratislava, which is the capital. And where are the many of the institutions that Zuzana already presented? They have their seat in exactly Bratislava.
Beautiful, thank you so much. And finally, Dr. Gaye, of course, Turkey, I think, is a wonderful opportunity as well, because it is the bridge between Europe and Asia. Maybe if you could just say the final word why you are particularly keen on hosting applicants from Southeast Asia.
I mean, we are open to everyone, and we welcome a lot researchers from Asia. And maybe I could say a little bit about our research area, which is launched in 2004, which aims to initiate research and innovation-based economical development in Turkey. And so everyone who would like to contribute that is welcome. We are open to everyone, and it would be a pleasure to host researchers from Asia.
Well, thank you so much with this warm invitation as a wonderful closing to our session today. So I'd like to thank all of our panelists. I think very exciting. We hope that you all got excited and that you will now use the time to find out more. And once again, you will receive all the slides and the recording. And please do look us up on YouTube and on the internet, and you will find all kinds of information. Maybe if I add that, as you've noted, a lot of our panelists are NCPs, so-called national contact points, and they are organizing proposal writing sessions over the course of the next few weeks. So please do keep out an eye on our website and our social media channels, because we will be announcing these opportunities as well. And I think with this, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful evening, and we see you very soon here again on the Euraxis ASEAN channel. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Goodbye.